Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Happier Life podcast. I'm your host, Claire Deacon. After deciding survival wasn't enough, I set out on a path to live my best life. I wanted to thrive. Now I'm on a mission to support others. Think you're not good enough, confident enough, brave enough? I'm here to tell you you are, and you can achieve anything. This is your time, so let's do this. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Happier Life podcast. On today's show, I am going to be talking about the power of self-love. With media messages about Valentine's in full swing, it seems like the perfect opportunity to discuss self-love. So, whatever your relationship status, the relationship you have with yourself needs to be your priority. First of all, before we get started, a quick check-in on your week. Remember, you can always contact me at Happier Coach, or why not join us in the Happier Life Playground on Facebook. I only opened the doors this week, so come on in and introduce yourself. I've also been working on a special challenge, and I will be giving you the details at the end of this podcast, as it is the self-love challenge. You can find all the details in the show notes of how you sign up. What else have I been doing this week? Well, I've been working on my talk for Be Inspired in Manchester in March. Tickets are nearly sold out, so if you want to come along to a fabulous event, make sure you don't miss out. So, that's how my week has been filled. Hope yours has been productive too. So, self-love. This is really a critical component of our psychological well-being and a key factor in our ability to live a happy and fulfilling life. Hence why a very important topic to be on this show. It's about embracing our unique qualities, acceptance of our flaws, forgiveness of our mistakes, and really holding ourselves in positive regard, holding value in ourselves and acknowledging our worth. But for many of us, especially if your sense of identity has been challenged, it is easier said than done. It can be difficult to move forward from negative thoughts and beliefs and to cultivate a positive relationship with ourselves, especially where we found ourselves in situations we didn't expect to find ourselves and we certainly didn't wish for. So, in this episode, we will be exploring the power of self-love. What is it and why it is important, the barriers to self-love, and I will then be sharing some expert tips for building self-love, a foundation for happiness. So whether you are a seasoned practitioner of self-love or looking to improve the relationship you have with yourself, I hope you find this episode helpful and inspiring. So, what is self-love? Self-love is a journey, first of all. It requires effort, patience, and commitment. So be patient and persistent because you deserve the love and you need to accept yourself just how you are. It is the practice of valuing and caring for yourself, both mentally and physically. It involves embracing all your unique qualities, forgiving yourself for the mistakes you may have made, and treating yourself with kindness and compassion. It can be characterised by feelings of self-worth, self-acceptance, self-esteem, and treating yourself with respect. How many of you out there are questioning whether you really do have a high regard for yourself, whether you understand what self-love really means to you? I can remember in my recovery stage talking about self-love and really feeling that someone who could genuinely say they loved themselves must be I felt they must be quite self-absorbed to feel that way, because I guess the love that I held for myself at that time was really pretty rock bottom. So practicing self-love means prioritizing one's well-being and taking care of yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. It involves recognizing your strengths and weaknesses and working to continuously improve yourself. Ultimately, self love is about having a positive and empowering relationship with yourself and leading a fulfilling life. So now we've covered what it is. Why is it so important? It's important really because it lays the foundation for our happiness. When we love and accept ourselves, we have a more positive outlook. We're better equipped to handle challenges and obstacles. The scientific research has demonstrated that those who practice self-love have higher levels of life satisfaction, better mental health. They have a more positive outlook on life. You're also less likely to experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. You're likely to have higher levels of resilience when facing adversity. So that's why it's important. But the problem is, there are many barriers that we face to achieving self-love. How many of you can connect with having negative thoughts and beliefs about yourself? Those thoughts and beliefs holding you back from really embracing who you really are, living your dreams, striving to fulfill your potential. I know I was definitely in that place, and it's still a continuing piece of work that we do. Our mental health, our well-being is a journey, and on that journey we are required to continue to grow, to evolve, to uncover new things, to develop further. So those negative thoughts, can be buried in both our conscious and unconscious brains. And it can take quite a lot to uncover them at times and to let them go. It can be quite a difficult process. And then on top of those kind of barriers, that negative thoughts and belief system, we also have our defense mechanisms, which like to come to our rescue. They're to protect us. But unfortunately, they're not always tuned in quite to the right channel. And they very much have an all or nothing filter. If there is any uncertainty, our defences will take immediate action and block the potential threat. And this means that it blocks the good and the bad, and it's very difficult to get beyond that. So low self-esteem, perfectionism, self-sabotage are all ways we block ourselves from receiving self-love. These can also be influenced by external sources, whether that's the media, our immediate social circles, or the wider social environment, places we work, we shop, where we hang out. The social media. Everything we consume is providing us with messages. It's important to recognise these barriers and then work to overcome them, whether it's reducing our exposure to negativity or improving our self-care. So I've given you a very much a whistle-stop tour in what self-love is and why it's important and the barriers that you may face in experiencing and gaining self-love. So what can you do about it? How could you go about building self-love for restoring some faith in yourself and gaining acceptance of who you are? How many of you listening right now could resonate with feelings of not being good enough, of not being worthy? It's time to start making some changes, to take some action, to turn that around, to show yourself some love and some acceptance, and gain an appreciation for everything you have to offer. So, to help you on that journey, I have put together 10 actions that you can practice. All of these are scientifically proven in positive psychology to provide us with numerous benefits, but really impact on our experience of self-love. So, if you're ready, I will run through each of them. So, at number 1, something really important, and everyone who works with me knows it's something I very much champion, and that is the practice of self-care. Whatever that looks like for you, any activities that make you feel good and recharge you. For some, it may be exercise or reading, meditation, a relaxing bath, or perhaps a particular hobby or pastime that you have. Some of the things I will do is practice EFT, a tapping technique focusing on pressure points that can help the release of feelings and emotions. So it will help with some of those barriers of negative thinking. I also love sound baths. I find them immensely interesting, rewarding, relaxing, and something which I very much enjoy to participate in. I also sometimes really need to indulge the introverted version of myself, and I can sometimes need to just take myself away to recharge, get away from it all, and just sit with my feelings for a while, thinking, not thinking, whatever it is that I need at the time. So that might just be putting some music on some headphones, just relaxing and doing nothing, or it could be taking myself off somewhere on my own just to spend some time with myself. So your self-care regime, whatever is included, is really can be unique to yourself. You know, something I wouldn't have in my self-care routine would be to eat chocolate. I'm not a chocolate fan, so that wouldn't encourage me or give me re-energize me, but for others that's exactly what works for them. So very much concentrate on what makes a difference to you, whatever that is. So that's my first action for you to do, is to make sure that you have a self-care routine in place. So the next action that you can take is really to manage the self-talk. So what messages are you sending yourself? How many times a day do you tell yourself, if only you were better, if you weren't so lazy, if you were capable of doing something, it wouldn't be this way? How many times do you berate yourself unnecessarily? It's time to intercept these messages and speak to yourself with kindness. Now, this one is a bit chicken and egg. Without self-love, it may prove difficult to be positive about yourself, but unless you treat yourself as though you hold love for yourself, you are never going to feel it. So just start with saying no to the negative thought. And once you've started to embed this, you can start introducing something more positive into your personal narrative. So an example might be, you're so rubbish, you're always late. So first stage is to say, I'm not rubbish, and to try and stop using that kind of language. I'm not rubbish. And then the next stage is to go on, I'm not rubbish, I just need to find more time, or whatever the solution is to why it is that you are being late. But ultimately, you're not rubbish. You just may need to be more organised or planned, or have more resources made available to you. So just start by really trying to intercept some of those negative thoughts. Another technique I can offer is to journal, writing down your thoughts, emotions, and experiences, taking them out of your head and onto the page. Reflect on the narrative, acknowledge your progress, and celebrate your achievements. The journey ahead may be difficult for some of you, but you are already so much further along than you imagine. Practicing self-reflection and getting to know yourself, your values and your beliefs will help you gain an understanding of who you are so you can honour that person. Exploring your feelings and emotions will prevent you from burying them. Because you know something? If you bury your emotions, you are burying them alive, and not dealing with them will only enable them to grow, and eventually they will rise up. So the fourth action I've got that you can take is to start expressing gratitude for the people, experiences and things you have in your life. Focus on all that you have rather than what you lack. So, action 5. Spend some time in nature. Immerse yourself in your surroundings, being mindful of all you experience. Slowing down, taking time, appreciating the beauty that is on offer will encourage your mind to focus on the positives and reap the benefits of the natural world around you. Number 6 is to treat yourself. A little bit of something you enjoy does you good. So whether it's indulging yourself with a bunch of flowers, having a massage, indulging in something that is special to you, it will do you good and make you feel worthy. At number 7, it's time to surround yourself with positive people. We all need a cheerleading squad to hold us up from time to time, who support us in our endeavours and who we know will always have our backs. If you have people around you who are holding you back, who often bring you down, it's time to limit your interaction with them. If the people around you are bringing you down, that is not a circle of friends. That's a cage. Let yourself out. This is your time to fly. At number 8, my recommendation is to learn something new. Challenge yourself to grow, develop a new talent, and celebrate your accomplishments. It's great to gain new experiences. You may just find a hidden talent for origami swans, or perhaps you want to become the next tomahawk throwing champ. Whatever it is, give it a go. So number 9, another action is to set yourself some goals towards the life you envision. What is your dream? How would you like things to move forward, to change, to develop? Challenge yourself to grow as a person. Set achievable goals and celebrate your accomplishments along the way. So finally, already at number 10, engage in acts of kindness. Do something nice for someone else, whether it's volunteering, sending a message to someone who needs to hear it, taking time for someone else. Small acts of kindness can make a big impact. So spread the love and compassion and engage in positivity. Now, I have got a few more ideas should you get stuck. So do get in contact if in that top 10 list there is nothing there that suits your needs, and I can offer some alternative solutions. So just to summarise really quickly, the top 10 ideas that I've just given you for improving your self-love. At number 1, practice self-care. Please, please, please. Number 2, manage the self-talk. Let's get rid of that negativity. Number 3, self-reflection through journaling. Number 4, express gratitude for all you have in your life. Number 5, spend time in nature. And at number 6, treat yourself to something that makes you feel good. At number 7, surround yourself with the right positive people. Number 8, learn something new. And number 9, set those goals towards your dream. And finally, number 10, engage in acts of kindness. Remember, self-love and happiness are a journey, not a destination. It takes time to build a positive relationship with yourself, but with effort and dedication, you can find self-love and live a fulfilling life. So I hope that's been helpful to some of you. And as I said before, come over and join us in the Happier Life Playground Facebook group. There we will be focusing on self-love for the month of February. If you haven't already signed up, I am running the Self-Love Challenge starting the 12th of February, 7 days of journaling and challenges to improve your relationship with yourself and self-love. Don't worry if you've missed the start of the challenge. You can start whenever is right for you. And don't forget to join us in the playground. So thank you very much for listening. Subscribe, hit like on your podcast service, and I will see you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, ensure you hit subscribe, head on over to my website happiercoach.com, sign up for the weekly newsletter, and let me support you in living a happier life. I'm your host, Claire Deacon. Thank you for listening. Have a fabulous day.